Hi friends, it's Amy. Welcome to my bookish life. Today we're going to check in my reading from June 1st through June 7th. So let's get to it. All right, so since the beginning of June, I have finished 2 books. Both of them are middle grade. And I'm also in the middle of a couple books. And I have something really fun to share with you. The first book that I finished for the month is The 13th Circle by Mary Kate Connolly and Katherine Holmes. This is a science fiction written about 2 girls, Kat and Danny, who are paired together in this science competition, and one of them wants to explore the crop circles that mysteriously appear every 13 years in their small town. Danny wants to prove that there's a scientific explanation for them, and Kat wants to prove that there is a supernatural alien reason for them. And they are partnered together, and they kind of compete against each other, working together to prove the other one wrong. And it is really fun. It's told in a really catchy, humorous way, and I really liked the characters of Kat and Danny. They are really good characters. I loved how you watched their friendship form. It just was a really, really fun book, and I can definitely see taking this book and sharing it with my students, recommending it to my students. It's really a good one. So thank you to the authors for sending me this copy. It's one of the 4 books that were in my Try It chapter for middle grade author gifted books. So thank you so much for gifting me this book. I am very excited to share it with my students and recommend it to my students, and just, bring this story to them. I think they're really going to enjoy it. The next book that I finished was The Eyes and the Impossible by Dave Eggers. This was the Newbery Medal winner this year, and it is really fun. One thing I really loved about this is periodically there are these painted beautiful illustrations with Johannes, our main character, in them, and they are actually famous painted landscapes with the addition of a dog to them that kind of just brings the landscape alive. You could do a lot of different things with that kind of art correlation crossover, and I think that's really cool. The dog, Johannes, is known as the eyes of the park because he makes sure that there's nothing sketchy going around, nothing that's going to harm the other animals, and the bison, who are the leaders or kings of the park, have him in charge of that to make sure they're the keepers of the park, and he's the eyes, making sure that nothing bad happens to anybody. And it is really fun how he encounters different things in the park, and he just is trying to figure out what those things are and what they mean and what their purpose is. And it's just really a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was sad at times, it was funny at times, it was really just a great story, and I loved the characters in it. It was a lot of fun. I can really see where this Newbery Award came from. It was definitely an engaging story, and I really enjoyed it. This is another one I could see sharing with my students. I really, really enjoyed it. So those are the books that I have finished. In terms of books that I'm in the middle of, I'm in the middle of 2. The first one is Honeymoon Homicide. This is an advanced reader copy that I have from Gemma Halliday Publishing. This book is part of the Aloha Lagoon series, which is written by multiple authors with multiple offshoot series. And this particular series, the Amateur Sleuth is a wedding coordinator for the Aloha Lagoon Resort. And it's really funny. She comes up with these nicknames for all of the wedding guests and the wedding party. It's very humorous and quirky, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. It comes out towards the end of June, so I am just really liking it. It actually also follows the prompt for the Silent Book Club this month because it's travel, and Hawaii is a place that I would love to visit at some point. So I am possibly going to use that as part of the prompt. I do have other books that I want to read as well, so it's definitely not the only one that I'm reading for that. And then I'm also in the middle of 14 Days, which is edited by Margaret Atwood. There are 36 authors that have contributed to this book, and basically it is told through the eyes of the super of this apartment building in New York. And the super is taking copious notes about the stories that the people in this apartment building are telling. It starts on May 31st of 2020 during the pandemic, and for 14 days, the residents of the apartment building meet up on the roof, and part of their ticket for admission to the roof is to tell a story. So each of the stories are told by different authors, and you don't actually know who the authors are unless you peek at the back, which I kind of have been doing. But certain authors involved here, Margaret Atwood, Pat Cummings, Dave Eggers is one of the authors, Mary Pope Osborne, R.L. Stein, Celeste Ng, John Grisham, Emma Donahue, Sylvia Day, Douglas Preston, Nellie Rosario, Hampton Sides. Some of these I'm just seeing them and saying them, and I don't know who they are at all. Others I know very well, but it is very interesting to have these stories. And one thing that I really like about it is if I'm not really getting into a story, it's really short and I'm going to come up to another story really soon. So it's really engaging in that it's constantly changing and the focus is changing. Some of the stories are meant to be true stories, and some of the stories are meant to be fiction stories. The whole thing is fiction, but it really all just kind of comes together, and it's really just a lot of fun. I am enjoying it. I am about 45% done. I have book club for this on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, by Tuesday, I need to have this read, and I don't think I'm gonna have a problem. I've been listening and following along as I read. So it's really been a quick, fun read, and I'm really enjoying it. So those are the two books that I'm in the middle of. I want to share with you something really cool. So remember like a month ago when I said that I never win Goodreads giveaways? Well, guess what? I won another Goodreads giveaway, which I think is really exciting. I recently won The Secrets of Rosebriar Hall by Kelsey James. There's actually no the at the beginning of that, but look at this cover. It's absolutely gorgeous. Love it. This is actually an advanced reader copy. It comes out for sale on the 25th of June. It says it's a gothic mystery as full of twists and turns as a Victorian staircase. I couldn't put it down, by Lisa Jackson said that. And on the back it says, Gilded Age opulence swirls with madness, manipulation, and misogyny in this gothic homage to gaslight as a young society wife, drugged and isolated by her menacingly charismatic husband, decides it's time to fight back. And then on the back, there's these like cards, and one says, don't drink the tea, and one says, don't trust Briggs. It also came out with this from between the chapters, and it says, step into the opulent yet shadowed corridors of the early 20th century New York with Kelsey James, The Secrets of Rosebriar Hall. This Gilded Age Gothic tale, echoing the suspenseful essence of the classic film Gaslight, invites you to unravel the twisted threads of love, manipulation, and mystery within the walls of a mansion that holds more secrets than it does warmth. Delve into this homage to timeless suspense and discover whether a woman of wealth can ever truly be safe from the designs of those closest to her. Honestly, like, it doesn't give me a lot of information, but it sounds so good. Let's explore. Oh, it's for Steve, who makes everything better. That's so adorable. The striped bass flopped about helplessly in the boat, its belly flashing in the sun. I flinched as the fisherman sliced between its gills in a swift, sure motion and carved off bloody fillets of flesh. On our dock, his partner spoke animatedly with the chef and gestured at his catches. In October, it was getting cold to be going out on the water, and our own yacht was tucked cozily in the boathouse, but the fishermen were still at it. What an awful fuss went into feeding us, and the kitchen would be in an absolute uproar right now in preparation for our big dinner tonight. So very lyrical first paragraph. I kind of love that. Do I want to put everything down and read this? Okay. So Millie is the main character. She's telling the story, and she is married to Charles, and Charles has money, and so he was quite the wanted bachelor until Millie came along and scooped him right up. Sounds very Rebecca, honestly, to me. So she was dressed up as Persephone for this like party, and he was dressed up as Hades. So it was like fate that they end up together, and within like a month they got married. So at this point now they've been married for a year, and there's this big party that is happening, and so their guests are arriving, and there's a whole lot of passive aggressive comments being made that are just kind of ridiculous, and there's like ridiculous in a purposeful way, not like ridiculous as in like, well, this is stupid, but like on purpose. It's supposed to be ridiculous. And Millie keeps on having these premonitions that like bad things are going to happen, which from the back, it seems that is in fact the case. So I am quite intrigued by where this is going. So I might keep reading this. I am very intrigued about what these cards are for. It looks delightful. Honestly, I feel like I thought that this was about like a school. I don't know what I was thinking this was about, but I'm really vibing with the writing style. It just is very almost lyrical in a way, but not over the top lyrical. So I'm really vibing with that. I think that's really good. So let me know about these books that I have talked about today. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. I love to chat with you down in the comments. Commenting and liking and subscribing really help my channel grow, and I so appreciate you for doing that. I hope you're finding something wonderful to read, and until next time, happy reading. Bye!